The Galactic Council chamber hummed with the low rumble of 1,000 different species, conversing in 100 different tongues. Sarah Chen stood at the edge of the Grand Assembly Hall, her small frame barely visible among the towering delegates. She wore the simple gray uniform of Earth's diplomatic corps, her dark hair pulled back in a neat bun, her eyes downcast as she clutched a datapad to her chest. The Vraxian ambassador, a massive reptilian creature with scales like burnished copper, leaned toward his aide and hissed loud enough for nearby delegates to hear. "Look at the human. So small, so fragile. They send us their weakest as representatives." Sarah heard every word. She always did. But she simply adjusted her glasses and continued taking notes, her expression unchanged. Neo Martinez, Earth's senior military attaché, watched from across the chamber. He knew better. He'd served with Sarah during the border wars. He'd seen what those delicate hands could do. But orders were orders. Let them underestimate humanity. Let them think Earth was soft. The emergency klaxons shattered the diplomatic murmur. Breach. Breach in Sector 7 through 12. The station's AI announced in its clinical tone. Hostile forces have boarded. All delegates proceed to secure locations immediately. Chaos erupted. Delegates scrambled toward exits as armored figures materialized from quantum jumps throughout the chamber. The Keshtar pirates, a mercenary fleet that had been terrorizing the outer systems for months. Their exoskeletons gleamed with stolen military tech, weapons charged and ready. Nobody moves. Their leader, a scarred Keshatar with cybernetic implants covering half his face, raised his plasma rifle. "You're all hostages now. The council will meet our demands or we start executing delegates one by one." Sarah hadn't moved. She stood exactly where she'd been, datapad still clutched to her chest, eyes wide behind her glasses. She looked terrified. The pirate captain noticed her. "You, human." He gestured with his weapon. "Come here." Sarah's hands trembled as she walked forward. Each step seemed hesitant, reluctant. She stumbled slightly, catching herself. Several delegates who'd been watching now looked away. The sight of such obvious fear was uncomfortable even for them. "Pathetic," the captain muttered. "Your species wants a seat at the big table, but you can't even—" Sarah moved. The datapad clattered to the floor. Her hand shot out, striking the captain's weapon arm at the nerve cluster Neo had watched her identify the moment the pirates appeared. The rifle discharged into the ceiling as her other hand drove into the pirate's throat. Not enough to kill. Precisely calibrated to temporarily paralyze. Before the weapon hit the ground, Sarah caught it. She pivoted, the rifle now an extension of her body, and fired 3 shots in rapid succession. 3 pirates dropped, their shields overloaded by precision strikes to the power cores Neo knew she'd been cataloging since they appeared. "Sarah Chen, Lieutenant Commander, Earth Special Operations," she said quietly, her voice now carrying a steel edge that made even the Vraxian ambassador step back. "Drop your weapons." The pirates hesitated for only a moment. It was a moment too long. Sarah moved through them like water through a dam, flowing, unstoppable, finding every weakness. A kick to destabilize, a strike to disarm, a shot to disable. She didn't kill unless absolutely necessary. She didn't need to. Every human combat doctrine emphasized efficiency over brutality, precision over power. Neo finally moved, joining her as station security arrived. Together they cleared the chamber in under 3 minutes. When the last pirate was secured, Sarah picked up her datapad, adjusted her glasses, and returned to her spot at the edge of the chamber. Her hands shook slightly, adrenaline, Neo knew, not fear. They always did after combat. The Vraxian ambassador approached slowly, his massive form somehow seeming smaller. I apologize, Ambassador Chen. I did not realize—" "Lieutenant Commander," Sarah corrected gently. "Ambassador Chen is my diplomatic cover, but apology accepted." She offered a small smile. "We humans have learned that being underestimated is sometimes an advantage." Neo stepped forward, addressing the assembled delegates who were emerging from their panic. "Let me clarify something about humans," he said. "We come from a death world. Everything on Earth, the animals, the weather, the geology, has spent millions of years trying to kill us. We didn't become apex predators through size or strength. We did it through adaptability, through learning, through turning our weaknesses into strategies." Sarah continued, her voice still soft, but now commanding absolute attention. "We mastered combat not because we love violence, but because we had to. Every human child learns basic self-defense. Every human soldier trains in 17 different combat disciplines before they ever see active duty. We are a species that has fought ourselves for thousands of years and somehow survived. We know war intimately. She paused, meeting the eyes of each major delegate. But we prefer peace. That's why I'm here as a diplomat first, a soldier second. We're hoping the galaxy can learn from our mistakes instead of repeating them. The Vraxian ambassador bowed low, a gesture of profound respect in his culture. Earth's petition to join the Galactic Council. I will vote in favor. A species that masters combat but chooses diplomacy is one we need at this table. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber. As the delegates filed out, Neo approached Sarah. Nice work, Commander. She smiled, the shy expression returning to her face. Just doing my job, Colonel. Think they learned their lesson? About humanity? Absolutely. Neo glanced back at the chamber where maintenance drones were already repairing damage. They thought you were timid. Now they know. Every human is exactly as dangerous as they need to be. Sarah nodded, clutching her datapad once more. Good. Maybe now we can actually get some work done around here. As they walked toward the diplomatic quarters, Neo couldn't help but smile. The galaxy had just learned what he'd known for years. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't physical prowess or advanced technology. It was their ability to be whatever the situation required, diplomat or warrior, student or teacher, timid or terrifying. And Sarah Chen embodied that perfectly.